Welcome, visitor, to this production on Charles Darwin National Park, 2007. I also spent a short time here in July 2006, but the later visit was more thorough. I spent a month in September 2007 in the Hidden Valley Caravan Park, and with an electric wheelchair I traveled on the Palmerston-Darwin cycle route into town, passing the Army and RAF bases on the way. The number of plaques and historical displays along the cycle route, which follows the old Pine Creek railway line. This one celebrates the 2nd 14th Field Regiment, which came to Darwin during the 1940s to protect Northern Australia. Also along the cycle route is bus stops, and Darwin buses all carry wheelchairs. They're also well illustrated with artwork done by local artists. Decision time, a split in the cycle route. I decided to head over towards Charles Darwin Park. Another interesting thing along the cycle route is remains of the old water pipeline. I've reached the park, and here's the welcome plaque. The park is actually an old bomb storage area from World War II, which was used until the mid-1980s. It protects the wetlands and provides a magnificent view of the central business district of Darwin. The park, like the city, is named after the world-famous naturalist Charles Darwin. In fact, there's still a tortoise brought by Charles Darwin to Darwin over 100 years ago, and it's alive today. This park brochure tells me that the park protects areas of natural and cultural significance, protects the wetlands. Port Darwin's recognized as a nationally significant wetland because of its size, 48 square kilometers. The park lies on Francis Bay in Port Darwin, and includes the western banks of Saggroves Creek, Rycard Creek, and part of Blessers Creek. So there's mainly two things to see in the park. First of all, the lookout platform with wonderful views of the harbor and wetlands, and the World War II display, which we'll take a look in this production, open daily. Here's the view of the central business district of Darwin, taken from the lookout tower. They're quite elevated over the harbor, so the view is really very good. Exploring around the park, there's lots of evidence of the old military installations, such as this cliff. And these old staircases leading nowhere with the buildings long gone. Some of the buildings have been condemned because of asbestosis or asbestos. We're welcomed to a historical display by this reminder of the World War II bombs that were stored here. There's 15 or 20 or who knows, even more maybe, old bunkers well spaced out, but only one or two have displays. Please come in. 1944, when the place was built, it was well away from the town of Darwin because it stored explosives. This place was dangerous, secret, and off limits to civilians. Darwin was the target for the Japanese in the expansion of their empire up to 1942. The red marks on the map show where bombs were dropped. February 19, 1942. 242 Japanese bombers dropped more bombs on Darwin than were dropped at Pearl Harbor. Destruction caused by the bombers was pretty complete in areas. The extent of the Japanese Empire in December 1941 and its very rapid expansion in the next 2 months. The Japanese were really not very far away from northern Australia. Darwin today is still a major military defense base for northern Australia. Working with explosives and a poster saying that firearms kill the enemy, not your friends. A poster on managing ammunition stores safely. November 1943, checking 1,000-pound bombs in the bulk underground storage. Bomb trolleys were used to move heavy bombs. They carried 1,000-pound bombs like these, as well as 250 and 500-pound bombs. Rosemary has been used to enhance memory since ancient times, but it was worn on Anzac days to remember Gallipoli. People who were planning Darwin's future in the 1940s had absolutely no idea of what the city would be like today. A poster on cultural differences between the Japanese and Australians and the different views that each nation held towards soldiers. This poster outlines the use of this area since the 1940s. It was to continue in use until the bombs were moved to the new military bases during the mid-80s. Thanks for joining me, dear visitor, on this visit to Charles Darwin National Park in the Northern Territory. I hope you have a great day.